Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our showing of Thelma and Louise, the fourth film in our Planes, Trains, and Automobiles series for the Forest Film Festival. Directed by Ridley Scott and starring Susan Sarandon as Louise, Gina Davis as Thelma, and Brad Pitt in his breakout role as J.D. The music was credited to the distinguished German émigré Hans Zimmer. Thelma and Louise is an old-fashioned buddy movie, but it's unusual in that the buddies are two women, because at the time it was rare for a studio to film a movie with women as the protagonists. At the time of its release, it was very controversial because of its negative portrayal of male characters, but it became a landmark feminist film. It's a story of two working-class friends who set out on a road trip in a '66 Thunderbird, only to end in unexpected tragedy. Despite the controversy, the film was both a critical and commercial success. It earned 6 Oscar nominations, including 2 for Best Actress for both Sarandon and Davis, and to date, it remains one of very few films to be so honored. It won the Oscar for Best Original Screenplay for Callie Curry's first screenplay, which she based on her own experience and those of her friend, the country singer Pam Tillis. Janet Maslin of the New York Times called the script sparkling and said that Scott had redefined the buddy film with such freshness and vigor that the genre seemed positively new. In 2016, the film was honored by placement in the National Film Registry. Over the years, the final scene has become so iconic that numerous homages and parodies of it have appeared, including alternate film endings, cartoon parodies, video games, and music videos. Commercially, Thelma and Louise earned a hefty $45 million in the U.S. alone. Ridley Scott is an English director-producer who comes from a family of filmmakers. There are 5 directors among them. He studied at the Royal College of Art and got his professional start directing commercials. In 1972, he directed a commercial for Britain's Hovis bread, which is said to be the favorite of many Britons. His work is known for showcasing strong female characters and for its highly concentrated visual style. He uses a detailed approach to production design and innovative atmospheric lighting and slow pacing preceding the action sequences. He also uses sound or music to heighten tension. Scott acquired the film rights from Curry for $500,000, originally intending only to produce the film. The pre-production phase went slowly, as many directors and actors were interviewed. 40 different directors were considered before Scott finally decided to direct the film himself. Financial backing proved difficult. The only studio willing to produce Thelma and Louise was financially troubled Pathé, which was so strapped for cash that the opening had to be delayed because the studio didn't have adequate funds for lobby posters. Filming took 12 weeks, mostly on location in California and Moab, Utah, although the fictional auto route in the film is between Arkansas and the Grand Canyon. The canyon shots were filmed in Dead Horse Point State Park, Utah. Other locations included the LaSalle Mountains, LaSalle Junction, Monument Valley, Cisco, Old Valley City Reservoir, Thompson Springs, Arches National Park, and Crescent City in Utah. Hans Zimmer, composer, was born in Frankfurt, Germany in 1957. In his early years as a composer, he worked in London before coming to the U.S. to compose his first score for an American film, Rain Man. He has worked with Ridley Scott 4 times and has composed over 100 Hollywood film scores. He's known for combining synthesizers with traditional instruments and for highlighting solo cello and guitar music. He'll often use musical forms which are indigenous to the life of a film's characters, such as tribal chants or country music with guitar and singing. Plot summary. Louise is a waitress who lives with her boyfriend Jimmy, a musician, who is often on the road. Thelma is married to Daryl, a Neanderthal, who wants her to stay in the kitchen and be quiet so he can watch football in peace. One day, the two women decide to break free of their humdrum lives and go fishing together. Their journey turns into a desperate flight from justice after Louise shoots a drunk who has threatened to rape Thelma. Louise decides to hightail it for Mexico, and off they go on a route which appears to take them through Utah and Arizona, while dodging confrontations with their pursuers. Fun facts about the film. Sarandon and Davis were both nominated for Best Actress Oscars. They lost to Jodie Foster, who won for her role in Silence of the Lambs. As Daryl is leaving for work, he trips over a pile of building supplies on his way. This was totally unscripted, as Christopher McDonald actually lost his footing but remained in character, yelling at the workman as he got into his car and drove away. The scene where Louise grabs Selma's headphones off her and scares her was also not planned. Davis had her Walkman turned up high and couldn't hear her cue, so Sarandon had to come over to get her. Scott was so pleased with Zimmer's score that he created a special main title sequence with Zimmer's music over it to run at the beginning of the film. 5 identical Thunderbirds were used for the shoot. 1 star car, 1 camera car, 1 backup car, and 2 stunt cars. 24 police cars and 3 helicopters were used during the film's climax. Scott used the movie Badlands from 1973 as his inspiration for the look of this movie. When the singer Tori Amos saw this movie, she was inspired to write the song Me and a Gun about an assault she experienced at age 21. The film's trailer presented it as a comedy. Davis and McDonald had been engaged before this film in 1984. McDonald said that making this film was great. It was really cathartic. The address where Jimmy tells Louise to pick up the Western Union money in Oklahoma City is 1921 Northeast 23rd. There actually was a hotel in Oklahoma City called the Vagabond. It's now an AutoZone. The revolver that Thelma and Louise use is a Colt Detective Special Nickel 3rd generation. Thelma's date of birth, according to the police broadcast, is November 27, 1956. Screenwriter Curry was born on November 27, 1957. In one of the scenes in Daryl's home, he and the police are watching a TV broadcast of Only Angels Have Wings, from 1939, in which a male voice is heard to say, "Judy." This is the film in which Cary Grant was famously misquoted as saying, "Judy, Judy, Judy." Near the beginning of the film, when Thelma is asking Daryl if he wants anything special for dinner, the game show Jackpot is showing on the TV. The singer-guitarist Charles Sexton has a cameo fronting the band at the Silver Bullet. Things to look for. Opening credits with Zimmer's music. Daryl's fall over the building materials. Louise grabbing Thelma's headphones. The 5 Thunderbirds. The 24 police cars and 3 helicopters in the final scene. The address for the pickup of Louise's money. The Colt Detective Special. Thelma's date of birth in the police broadcast. The TV broadcast of Only Angels Have Wings with the man saying, "Judy." The game show Jackpot playing on TV as Thelma asks Daryl what he wants for dinner. Scott blew up the tanker truck in real time so Thelma and Louise would react naturally to the unexpected. Check their expressions. They really are completely spontaneous. And now, folks, it's time to watch Thelma and Louise. Settle down with a drink and a snack, and the film will run shortly.